So friend A said to friend B, hey man, let me put you on some peak, some actual, And friend B was like, yeah, man, sure, man. So friend A was like, oh, you should read Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. So friend B was like, yeah, man, sure, I would love to. Like, I love rom-coms and romances, I'll check it out, thanks. So friend B goes home and then he reads Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. The next day they meet back up and friend A asks, hey man, like, so what you think of it? Like, did you like it? How was it? So friend B proceeds to shoot friend A in the head 7 times. Okay, maybe that was a bit excessive. It wasn't. It was not. Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity is getting an anime next year, so I want to start announcing my hate for it now so that when the anime comes out, it can be known that I'm not just hating on it because of the anime or something. I genuinely dislike this manga and I think it's like shit. In fact, I actually read it like a few months back. I had to reread it just for this video. At the start, it's actually quite enjoyable. It's a pretty generic romance, like Romeo Juliet kind of thing, but it does what it does well, and it's fun to read. My problem with the show really arises when we meet the side characters. Every character in the show is the same fucking character, which is one thing that's like their gig, and the show forces it down your throat that they're different, but in actuality, they're the same. The first time I realized like my problem with this manga was when Subaru tracks Rintaro to like apologize for being rude earlier. This entire interaction is so dumb. This is something you'll notice often in this manga, where characters suddenly realize they were wrong all on their own, with nothing happening to like actually change their opinion, no impactful experience that makes them realize their viewpoint was wrong. They perfectly analyze themselves and the situation and explain like how they messed up and why they messed up, like everything about it. And not only is that way too mature for a high schooler, that's just unrealistic, even for adults. They act nothing like kids. And I know that's a dumb complaint, like, oh, they're too mature. But like, I'm not asking for insanely stupid misunderstandings that just piss you off. I'm just saying that sometimes things get a bit messy, sometimes they get tangled up, and writing a good story is untangling them in a way befitting each character while progressing the story. The show just automatically resolves everything by the characters realizing what they did wrong and sitting down and chatting about it. Like, if you want a calm romance with like not much drama, there are so many better options. But this is just poor writing. In between, I kind of want to put this there. Near chapter 8, the main four characters' friendship is brought under like pressure due to them finding out Rintaro is still meeting with Waguri. And not only is this dumb because we have literally zero attachment to his friends right now, and we have no idea how close they are. But by giving us this entire thing about how good friends they are, the show is shoving it down my throat that they're good friends. Don't tell me that from like one incident where they all get really sad and the three friends talk to each other and like through exposition they tell you like, oh, we've known Rintaro for so long and he's our close friend. I'm sure he'll tell us what's wrong. What the fuck is that? Then in between it cuts to Subaru apologizing to Waguri, somehow realizing what was trying to do was wrong. The show just takes itself too seriously. And I know that's a dumb complaint, but when Rintaro meets Waguri and Subaru, like his friends overhear him talking about how they're the greatest friends and how no one can ever replace them. Holy shit, that's just insanely lazy writing. Even the scene where they get attacked by delinquents, I mean, that's just the scene in the first chapter repeated again, but this time to show how his friends have his back. It's lazy and generic, but whatever. It makes me. It may. It makes me cringe so hard when Ayato beats those guys up and he's like, the situation changes when they hurt our friend. Like, brother, that is such a fucking, you're my Nakama Jisu ass line. Like, there are a million better ways to do that instead of just telling me you're doing that. Stop telling me how much these characters care about each other through exposition. Show me, and not by some stupid scene of people attacking them and their friends having his back through a genuinely complicated situation that they have to go through, like with hardships in it, and then resolve it. Then Natsusawa comes and apologizes in the same exact manner Subaru did, and everything is resolved because he completely analyzed himself and told him everything that he did wrong. Don't get me wrong, this is genuinely a nice friendship, but the way it's shown and unfolded is not only like super corny, but just bad writing. Then, once again, Rintaro sets up a meeting between the two girls and the three boys. And Subaru once again gets up and formally apologizes. Like, sure, she saw them rescue her, so I guess this is like somewhat more understandable. But after five apologies, where characters automatically know what they did wrong and explain it in great detail, it's insanely annoying. It's like after every arc, the author wants to show us that each character has progressed, but instead of doing it through like actual exposition, he just has them like apologize to each other by sitting down together. I am trying so hard not to be a cynical hater. I like the relationship between the main love interest, and not to sound like a pretentious like asshole, but this writing is genuinely so bad and overall so boring, so corny and so tryhard. And then after the apology, Shohei's like, I don't even remember what you said, Bakero. What the f? And the entire chapter just turns into them all apologizing. I think a lot of people call this manga realistic because of this reason, but it genuinely just isn't. Not only because there's literally no high schoolers like this, but like we can ignore that because we all know most manga and anime like take unrealistic approaches for the sake of the story to especially with high schoolers. But this show has unrealistic people like whom I don't think even real people are this mature. They have no flaws other than one big massive flaw, like Subaru hating men, which I mean, I guess isn't even a big flaw since she had a valid reason. But I'm like judging people on the basis of her trauma, like and like treating actual nice guys badly, I guess. But then she gets over that with no actual change. Like you're telling me from the time the playground incident happened to her in Waguri, no man was even slightly nice to her? Because that's what Rintaro was, and it was enough to make her completely reevaluate her whole perception and apologize. Like she doesn't completely get over her fear, but she realizes, oh, not that all men are bad, some men are really good. Like you're a nice person. Like why did it take fucking 10 years and this guy for you to realize it? I'm not saying there needs to be a shit ton of bad communication. I'm saying miscommunication is a normal thing, especially with this many people. And a character like Subaru who has trauma relating to men, misunderstandings and bad situations happen. A good story resolves them through exposition and action. This story just has all of them sit down and apologize. Like I said 20 times, for no reason. Now, I'm probably just taking this manga way too seriously. The majority of the fan base, I'm pretty sure, is just girls who like Taylor Swift. No hate to her, obviously, but you know what I mean. They just like the rough boy but soft spot for her trope. I don't think it tries to take itself that seriously. But since I'm a stupid incel with nothing to divert my attention to, all the hype around this manga pisses me off for some reason because I don't understand how no one sees its very apparent huge flaws. Then again, I sound like a massive asshole and douche who just wants to hate on everything. I will say the scene of his mom crying while hearing his like the friends have fun was genuinely really heartwarming. Like it actually made me want to cry because his mother is a really nice person. The whole backstory of Rintaro wanting to give up on everything is really well done and I think relatable to a lot of people. Then Rintaro asks Ayato what dating someone means, and then they have this really sappy conversation where he gets emotional and he thinks about how great their friendship is, and it's so corny because of how overdone it is. My problem with the show is how bland every character seems. They seem like carbon copies of each other with one big thing that separates them, and then like how every conflict is resolved by the characters realizing all of their mistakes, like meeting up and apologizing for everything. That isn't being matured, it's lazy writing. I tried thinking of an analogy for this, like in writing, but the worst example I could think of was it's like if I had my characters have a huge fight, then they go away, think about what they said, come back, and apologize and admit everything that is wrong. But I realized that's literally what the manga does, and it's so insufferable. Overall, I think I'm crying for no reason, but on paper, this manga is exactly my cup of tea. I love romance high school anime where they make a friend group and they value each other's friendship and enjoy youth. But this manga, like its writing gives you no fucking payoff and it just makes it a boring experience. But hey, we're all gonna like what we wanna like. After all, there's people out there who like genuinely like Solo Leveling's plot. I don't care if you enjoy Fragrant Flower. Not everyone watches things to analyze it. Some people turn their brains off and just watch. And I respect that. Goodbye.